Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are finally doing the update for all the things that I bought during the Sephora VIB sale. I know it's been a little bit of time since I actually did that shop with me, but I really wanted to take my sweet time actually testing out these products because I wanted to give you guys like full-on reviews, not really just first impressions. Like I wanted to have thoughts, fully formed thoughts for everything that I got, and I do, and I'm really excited to share them all with you today. They're not all positive. Some of them are very positive and some of them are not so much, kind of negative. So I'm super excited to share everything with you guys today. I hope you're going to enjoy today's video. Let me know in the comments if you've tried any of the products that I'm going to be talking about today. And if you have, what are your thoughts? What's your review? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let's discuss. Hit the thumbs up button if you did enjoy today's video. And if you want to see more from me, definitely hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And without further ado, let's get into it, baby. So obviously I didn't even mention, but I am actually gonna be applying the products on my face today so you guys can actually see how they perform and what they look like on the skin. But before I get into the actual application of the products, let's talk about the non-makeup things that I got. Starting off first with a hair product that I purchased. This is the Orbe Curl Control Silkening Cream. Now you may or may not know that I'm currently on a little bit of a hair journey right now. I have been trying so many different curl products and I kind of found a combination that I really love. I actually shared it with you guys in a previous vlog. I'll link that down below if you want to check it out. And so it was kind of difficult for me to like try other products after I found a combination that just works so well for me, but it actually made it a really good way for me to kind of have an expectation of what my curls should actually look like, especially when I am trying new products. And so this product I bought completely on a whim. I really have not heard anybody talk about it. I just got this because I really love Orbe styling products. I find they work really well for my hair and it just sounded like a really nice product. This is basically supposed to just give definition to the curls. And I tried this 3 times and I absolutely did not like it. The biggest problem that I had with this product was that I found that it made my hair feel so heavy and weighed down and also really, really crunchy. And it just didn't make my curls look that great. Like some of my curls were really defined and looked nice, but then other curls just didn't look so great at all. Even though I've had 3 instances where this did not work for me, I'm not going to give up on it yet. First of all, it was expensive. I am going to continue to try it with like different combos of different products and see if I can make it work, and maybe I will. But as of now, this just did not work well for my hair at all, and it's honestly a little bit of a regret. So that's a no for me. Starting this video off on a bit of a negative note, and I apologize for that, but I have a skincare product here that I've also been using quite frequently well, not like super frequently because it is a mask, but I've used it probably about 4 times since getting it in the mail. And it is the Youth to the People Super Clay Purify and Clear Power Mask with niacinamide, kombucha, and BHA. So I bought this mask because I thought that it would give my skin a really nice clean out, especially because this had niacinamide in it. It kind of made me feel like this would not just clean out my pores, but not dry it out at the same time. I have not noticed anything with this product. Normally, I am such a big fan of Youth to the People products. I mean, that is why I got this mask in the first place, because I know that I really love Youth to the People and a lot of their products just work really great for my skin and I see results with a lot of their products. But with this guy, like I just didn't really see anything. Like I would put the mask on, I would take it off, my skin would feel fine. It wouldn't feel super dried out or anything. It felt kind of like refreshed. We're still very early on in our relationship. I mean, I have a lot left to go through here and I'm still going to continue to use it. So I'll let you know if my mind changes. But as of right now, I haven't noticed anything super crazy special about this. Let me know if you guys have tried this and what are your thoughts? Because for me, I'm just kind of like, So those were the 2 non-makeup products that I purchased, and those were my thoughts. So now let's begin with some of the makeup products. So let's start off first with the foundation. I think, was this my favorite product that I got? That's hard to say because there are some products here that I really love, but it's definitely one of the top products that I purchased for sure because I completely fell in love with it. This is the Makeup Forever Water Tone Foundation. I'm not super surprised that I love this because I did really love the Makeup Forever Face and Body. It was one of my go-tos, and this is just a gorgeous Your Skin But Better foundation that I've been loving for day to day. I feel like right now I have such a good lineup of everyday foundations that I've just been so in love with and have really been giving me the exact effect that I want for my skin. And that's been the Makeup Forever Water Tone, the MAC Face and Body, as well as the Fenty Ease Drop. The MAC Face and Body and the Water Tone are very, very similar. I do kind of feel like if you have one, you may not necessarily need the other because they are so similar in texture, in the way that they perform, and in the way that they look. What I love so much about this is it really just looks like nothing on the skin. Like nothing at all. But yet it still gives you a little bit of coverage and it just looks so fresh and it lasts so well throughout the day. Like it does not move practically. So it's been A++ for me, and I want to also say that I totally guessed my shade Y355 and it matches me perfectly. So giving myself a pat on the back for that one. What is really cool and really smart about the packaging in this foundation is they actually made a little palette on the top cap of the product, so you can put the product in the little cap, which is honestly so genius, especially because this is more of a watery formula. Putting on the back of your hand isn't like the most ideal thing because it's kind of just slips off really easily if you move around too much. So you really want to shake this stuff up because it is very watery. And I've been applying about 3 or 4 pumps. Okay, I'm gonna take this little brush from Merit that I have here. I really do prefer to use a brush or my fingers with a product like this. If you use a sponge, it's gonna be soaked up like immediately because it's such a watery formula, so I would not recommend using a sponge with this. The one thing that I don't like about this foundation is the fragrance. The fragrance is actually really intense. It does dissipate once it's been on your face, but initially it is kind of strong. And if you are sensitive to fragrances, like if your skin is sensitive to fragrances, then I wouldn't recommend getting this because the fragrance is definitely very present in this product. But you see how easily the stuff just kind of melts into the skin. And as far as the finish goes, it's not super glowy, but it does have a nice luminous finish. It looks just fresh. So this guy has definitely been a big A++ for me. I'm just gonna throw in some concealer since I don't have a new concealer to show you guys. This is the Bare Minerals Original Concealer. So now let's talk the Dior powder. Now there were actually 2 products that I purchased during the sale that I actually got from Julia Adams when we did our collab, and that was the Dior powder as well as the Patrick Ta She Sculpted Bronzer Duo. So I had a chance to try this even longer than all of these other products, and I did also end up returning the 2 that I purchased, obviously. Anyways, all that to say, I've had quite a chance to try out this powder, and when I first tried this in my collab video with Julia, you can see that my reaction to this powder really wasn't the most positive. I didn't love it. I didn't find that it did anything too crazy special to my skin, and that feeling persists. I'm really in love. Like I'm very invested in the Kosas Cloud Set, as you guys know, because I haven't been able to stop talking about it. It is my current favorite powder. And so I compare everything else to it. And I just don't find that this really compares much to that Kosas powder. I don't feel like it does the same things that Kosas powder does, which is completely blur my skin and just look super lightweight. This does look lightweight, but I don't find it does much blurring. Anyways, this one is in the shade 2N, which is 2 Neutral. And I'm gonna pick up some of it and just kind of set underneath my eyes and the center of my face with it. I can actually see myself using this powder because I don't think it's a bad powder at all. I think it looks nice on the skin. It sets my makeup nicely, doesn't look heavy or cakey. Like it is a good powder. If I hadn't discovered the Kosas Cloud Set, I would have probably been a little bit more impressed with this because it does look good. And it's hard for me to find powders that I find look good on my dry skin. So there's that. Let's talk bronzer because these 2 guys, they are so good. So this is the Cream and Powder Bronzer Duo. It's in the shade She Sculpted. I did also get this, like I said, in the video with Julia Adams. So you guys have already seen me try this out. And I've continued to use this and I love this bronzer duo. This is without a doubt going to become such a staple in my collection. It is probably one of my favorite bronzing products that I've tried in a while. So there are a couple key points that I really love about this bronzer. First of all, the versatility, just the fact that you have a cream and a powder in one compact makes this a very versatile product. And especially since both of these shades are not like the same shade, just 2 different formulas, they're 2 completely different shades. You can use them in 2 completely different ways, which also adds to the versatility versatility. So the cream shade, which is this guy over here, as you guys can probably tell, is much more cool toned. So that works really great for creating shadow on the face. And then the powder is much warmer. So I love that for creating warmth on the face. So I'm able to use these separately or together. And when I do use them together, they still give me different effects. So they complement each other rather than it being kind of like the same, but different. The cream specifically is like the perfect formula. It's not too emollient. It's not too dry. It just works. It's like exactly what I want. Then we have the bronzer from Danessa Myricks. This is the Power Bronzer in the shade Light. The formula, again, is exactly what I'm looking for when it comes to a cream. I love the shade as well. It's a really beautiful, golden, warm bronzer shade that really complements my skin tone. So I'm trying to figure out how I want to demo this for you guys. I think I'm going to use all three today. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this guy to warm up my skin using the cream. And then I'll contour using this cream and then just kind of layer a little bit of this on top, I guess. So I'm gonna go in with this brush from Laura Mercier. It's this really funky shape, but it works really great for bronzer. It's actually called the Glow Powder Brush, but I really like this, like I said, for cream bronzer. And I'm gonna go in with the Danessa Myricks Power Bronzer. Look how gorgeous that color is, and look how easily that blended on the skin. It's so good. There's honestly very few things in makeup that get me as excited as a good cream bronzer. So that is what the Danessa Myricks bronzer looks like. This is an A++ for me. Now let's go into the contour cream from the Patrick Ta palette. And I'm going to use a smaller brush to really pinpoint where I want this, since it is a contour shade. So I'm going to use this Katie Jane Hughes in Spectrum brush. It's the 06. My friend Alana, not Alana Davison, another Alana, she's a makeup artist, and she actually was raving to me about this palette. She was like, this is one of the best bronzer palettes that I've tried in such a long time. She just loves the formula too. So I'm just kind of contouring a couple areas. I'm contouring my nose, cheekbones. I'm actually also going to put a little bit kind of on my eye area to like do a natural eye lift situation. Makes such a big difference, but it's still so subtle at the same time. I love it. Now that we have all that product on, let's put even more. So I'm going to go in with the powder. Just going to pick up a little bit. This brush is a NARS powder brush. There's no number on here, unfortunately, but it's a big powder brush from NARS. And I'm just gonna layer that on top of where I put all of that cream. Let's move on to blush, another positive product review here. So this is the I think it's called the Dew Blush. Yeah, the Dew Blush in the shade Poppy. Now, when I actually got this in the mail, I was so surprised with the color because this is not the color that I expected. I thought that this would be a little bit more subtle, but it's definitely almost like a neon coral shade, which is kind of fun. And it actually worked beautiful on the cheeks. I do really like this product. So I'll just show you what it looks like. Here's a little doe foot applicator. It's nice and fat. And I'm going to just dot one dot on my cheek because this stuff is very pigmented, maybe 1.5 dots, and you really don't need a lot. That's something that I did notice, and we'll just blend it out. So even though it's a super bright coral, when you actually blend it out, it becomes a lot softer. I'm actually gonna put a little bit more. I wouldn't say this is also a super dewy formula, even though this is called a dew blush. It's not like crazy glowy, which I'm actually okay with. I do prefer that because I find really, really glowy cream blushes, while they're beautiful and they give a beautiful glow, they just don't typically last very long on the cheek. So this really has, I would say, the perfect amount of glow and sheen. I think I applied too much. That's what I was saying. You really can't apply too much of this product initially because it gets a little bit intense, but it's easily fixable once you just go in with a foundation brush. This was a good experience for me, this blush. Okay, let's talk the Kosas eyeshadows that I got. So I was super excited to get these because you guys probably know I've been having another love affair with another makeup product, and that's the Kosas 10 Second Shadow in Globe. I've been wearing that like almost every single day. It's a beautiful, glittery, golden liquid eyeshadow that lasts so well throughout the entire day, gives such a beautiful shimmery effect to the lids. Like, I'm obsessed. So of course I had to try out 2 more shades. that are also in the neutral family. Copper Halo, which came very highly recommended from a couple different people. And then we have Supreme, which is actually one of their glitter formulas. So this is actually supposed to be more glittery than Globe, which is why I bought it, because I was like, okay, if this is more glittery than Globe, then it's gonna be beautiful. Something else that you really need to do with this product, by the way, you need to shake it. Because it is a very liquidy product, you gotta shake it up to get all that pigment dispersed properly. Let me tell you, this Supreme shade is intense. This is Supreme. As you can see, it is so metallic. It's like liquid gold. But even though this is like so intense and gorgeous, I do prefer the Globe shade because it still has that intensity, but it's a little bit more wearable for every day, and it has more like shimmer in it, whereas this is just like very, 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 very metallic. Then we have Copper Halo, which is a really nice copper shade, but it's not quite what I wanted. I did think that this would give me a little bit more shimmer, just like Globe does, but it doesn't really give you really any shimmer. So even though I like the color of this, it's just not what I was hoping it would be. I'm gonna put Copper Halo on the eye all over and then maybe dab a little bit of Supreme like in the center of the lid. I think that's a good compromise. This is definitely kind of a weird formula. It's weird, but it works. It's just very like liquidy when you first apply and you're like, okay, there's no way this is gonna last throughout the day, and then it does. And you're like, oh wow, that proved me wrong. You do definitely wanna work quickly with these guys though, because they set very quickly. This is called a 10-second eyeshadow for a reason. Oh my God, I don't have a blending brush. Okay, so I definitely recommend doing one eye at a time. Otherwise, you may be left with an unblended eye. And they blend out super easily, I find. And that is what it looks like when it's set down on the lid. So it still has a really beautiful sheen to it. I would say this is actually a great everyday shade because there's not a lot of shimmer in here. Okay, now let's go in with Supreme, which is obviously the crazy intense shade. I'm gonna just kind of dot it on the center of my lid, just to show you guys that you can use this in a more wearable way. So I'm gonna pick it up with my finger instead of applying directly and just kind of go over the lid right in the center, just add a little bit of dimension there. So you don't have to go full on if you don't want to, but that's actually really pretty. I really like this look a lot. That's a great combo. I haven't worn these two together. This is my first time doing it, and this is definitely a gorgeous combination. I really like that a lot. Does it go with the cheeks though? I don't know. I feel like the cheeks are a little bit too coral for this warmth on my eyes, but that's fine. So I'm just gonna finish off the eyes and I'm gonna put on some mascara. I'm gonna use the Say Mascara 101, and then I'll show you guys one of the last products that I have here in this little haul / try on. I feel like the skin is actually looking so pretty. I haven't tried the Makeup Forever water tone with the Dior powder, and I gotta say, combination is actually quite pretty. I feel like as it's been settling onto my face, it just looks really good. I feel like it kind of made my skin look really poreless. So I don't know, man, maybe this powder is really good. Okay, the last product that I got in my haul is this little balmy highlighter. This is the Danessa Myricks Duet Morning Dew Highlighting Facial Balm. I really don't like this. It's as simple as that. I did not really know what to expect with this product, and it went in a direction that I was hoping it wouldn't, which is really just kind of like a wet, balmy highlighter. A lot of people like these types of highlighters. I'm not really one of those people. The main problem that I have with them is I find that they often will break up the foundation underneath because it's such a wet formula, which this is. I find that these are much more suited for like no makeup days, like literally no foundation. You just kind of want a little bit of a glow. This is a nice highlighter to put on because it's not going to look so much like a highlighter. It's not going to give you any type of like sparkle or metallic sheen or obvious highlight. It's just really going to give you that dewy, wet look, which you may be wanting. But for me, I just don't like this. I'm going to pick up a little, put it on my finger, and just dot it. And I literally find like my hair sometimes gets stuck in it, which is not ideal. You can even see there's kind of like a little bit of a foundation tint to the product, and that's not the product. That's literally because when I apply it with my finger, it's pulling the foundation off of my face because of the texture. And so when I go back in to reapply, the foundation gets in here, and that's why it's there. So that's kind of a good example of what I'm talking about. I'm just gonna finish off this look with the lips. I don't have a new product to show you guys, but I think that this Fenty cream would look really beautiful with this look. I feel like it matches the eyes really nicely, so let's try it. I'm just gonna line my lips first with KKW lip liner nude 1.5. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in with the Fenty Cream Gloss Bomb in Honey Waffles. This is such a pretty warm toned nude. This really does complement the eyes perfectly. Now, if I had to rank things, if I had to say what product was my absolute favorite, what product was my absolute least favorite, I would probably say that my absolute favorite product that I purchased, Patrick Ta Bronzer Duo in She Sculpted. I think this is my top just because I know how much I'm going to use this. And then my least favorite product that I got, I would probably say the Danessa Myricks Duet. Just really isn't for me. All right, guys, that is it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know all of your thoughts on all the products that I spoke about today in the comments. Hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed today's video and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.